Well, while we're at it, why don't we talk about grains, and in particular the corn market? But there's interesting sides of both corn and beans. I'll bring them up a little bit, but let's stick with corn here for the short term. And I've always said that, look, we're maybe going to need some help from Mother Nature to get this thing going. You know, corn's seen a nice steep decline, or not a nice steep, a steep decline over the last few months. And if we're going to see anything help corn out, maybe it could be Mother Nature. But right now, planning's going pretty well, and Mother Nature's complying. So we can't really have all of our chips in that basket right now because things are going so far to plan. That doesn't mean they can't, but right now that's just the way it is. Another thing that's been really part of that big decline is we've got ethanol and that energy complex, and that's been part of the reason why corn's come off, because we use a lot of it for ethanol, and energy is not really the de rigueur, the thing of the product of the week, and we've seen things get hurt over there, and we use a lot of corn for ethanol. And if we're not going to use the corn for ethanol, it's going to go back in the corn balance sheet, right? And that's also been weighing heavily on prices. So that's the big reason why you've seen corn come off as of late. So that's hurt flat price demand per se, as well as planning's going well. We're not seeing Mother Nature help out. So technically speaking, let's kind of keep our eyes on that $3.09 level. We've bounced off of that really before we can start to say we've got a recovery on our hands. We've seen the front months of today bid a little bit back, versus the back months. It's interesting to see that happening all over the place. And the reason I wanted to bring up beans for a second is I've talked to a ton of farmers. Do you want to be involved with corn as it's got itself attached to the hip of ethanol? That could hurt, right? So we've seen some folks maybe talk about moving over to the soybeans, but then soybeans is another issue because then you're going to be kind of attached to the American-Chinese relations. And do you want to be there as well? Because those things look to be suffering as we speak. So you kind of, wherever you go, it's not a good situation. And that's got a lot of farmers with their hands in the air, kind of shrugging their shoulders about what we're going to do. So if you're sticking with corn, again, Mother Nature hasn't been helping. Ethanol hasn't been helping. And technically speaking, we have held that $3.09 level. But let's keep an eye on that, because that's going to be where the technicians kind of will draw that line in the sand. And before we really start talking about a recovery, we're going to have to come off that pretty decently. So that's it from right now. A lot on the table here, lots to talk about, but we're going to need a few more weeks here to kind of get a better, clearer picture.